What is up, everybody, and welcome in to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome in, everybody. We already got a couple of people, in the chat here. Appreciate it as always. Our people already answering our question. Short answer, yes. No shot. But all right, I'm not sure. All right. Daniel, hey everybody, happy Monday. So what Sir was talking about is what up, Q? Is we're talking about Jalen Hurts. There's been a couple of lists. There was one that just came out yesterday of the top 10 quarterbacks. And should Jalen Hurts, should his name be on that? And, obviously we feel some kind of way as Philadelphians, but,
Sure.
Objectively speaking, should he be on a top 10, list? So we're going to talk about it tonight. So if you have an opinion, please let me know. No shot. Dak is better. Oh, okay. Are you a Cowboys fan there, sir? Or are you just you're just repeating, I guess. Dimes, this isn't EA College Sports College Football 25. You're right. I'm mad that I'm doing the show and not playing. Not gonna lie, I don't know. I was asking him in the background. I was like, can you hear that in the background? He's like, what? He's like, in the background is literally like from one of the pause screens. You can hear like the marching band collegiate drums just like in the background. So
yeah, right. I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember from those days of playing the old game.
Well, listen, yeah. I'm glad you can hear it. Although all I want to do is just I'll go out there, we'll play. We'll play. We'll talk about EA college football for sure. But anyway, Anthony checking in. What up, Ant? How are you, pal? Fareed said, if Hurst goes down with an injury, what's the Eagles' record?
First of all, I'd like to say a prayer for the health of Jalen Hurts, and I implore everybody in the Philadelphia area to as well.
Let's not put that out into the universe, but I would say just like anybody in their starting quarterback, probably going to be shit. Quarterback is and always will be the most important, position on an NFL team. And, even if you have a great backup, I mean, think about how many stories there are about backup quarterbacks, and why there's such great stories is because it rarely happens. It rarely happens when a backup quarterback who's sitting there holding the clipboard has to come in and lead a team into the playoffs. We can think about a couple off the top of our head. Frank Reich, Hofstetler, and obviously our boy Nicky Foles.
But I would still say, like, with those guys, a lot of them, like, they came into teams that were already winning. Like, when I think about that, like, if he goes down like week 3, week 4, that's different than week 17. If he
Right,
goes down week 17, maybe you can get your backup quarterback to be hot for a month.
right,
Like, I think
um,
that's easier than saying, "Hey, run a whole season, get your team to the
right,
playoffs, and run, run,
right,
run."
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, if Jalen goes down, obviously our record is. Well, Anthony said 1-17. I didn't know we were playing the 18th game just yet, but yeah, soon I'm sure.
I'm
But
sure.
yeah, it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be like
No,
3 wins. I think if we're lucky, if we're doing a whole season. I mean, that's no offense to whatchamacallit, Kenny Pickett, because I actually like Kenny Pickett. And I think he does a pretty good job. But this offense, I think, it was so built around Hurts that
yeah, but
you know
it's all built around what Jalen
Pickett's
can
a
do.
great player, and I think he's a good pickup. And I hope
Mhm.
I think the Eagles see a value in having him as an insurance, but also future value of getting more for him than we gave up. So, cute. Nick Foles. Nick Foles.
Exactly. Yeah, sure.
Um, yeah. Nick Foles can give you 10 good quarters. Yeah, well, that's all they needed to do. So,
And I've been saying it, and I say tongue in cheek, because of how like devout Christian he is. That he sold his soul for 10 amazing
oh wow,
quarters,
that
and I'm saying it tongue in cheek. I don't actually,
he would smack the crap out of you,
absolutely.
and not with his hands.
No, and you know what? He won a Super Bowl. He can do. He can slap me. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
He won a
wow.
Super Bowl. Damn
Okay, wow. Eric, agreeing to get slapped by Nick Foles is, well, I wouldn't say little friend, but
it.
anyway. Eagles suck and Jalen Hurts stink. There he goes. There's Ant. The Redskins will take the division. Oh man, you are on it tonight. I love it. No, but I'm gonna pull up this list so I can kind of show it.
Yeah.
What it wasn't an ESPN, it was PFF, right?
Maybe it was. I just knew they were talking about it on ESPN, and so that's where I
Well,
heard it.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, of course. Hmm. Well, I know Stafford's on it, and listen, like I
Yeah.
get it.
Stafford was 5.
Yeah, I get it, but like, yeah, it's like, all right, can we stop with the Matthew Stafford thing? Like, I get it,
Yeah.
but like, come on, dude. This is just getting ridiculous with all this stuff. I personally don't think he's that good. I don't know why he gets so much love. Yes, he won. Um, obviously he won a whatchamacallit, a Super Bowl with the Rams, but
Sure.
you know, um, he had a Hall of Fame wide receiver
Yeah.
and couldn't do anything in Detroit. Is this it? No, it was Burrow was second, right? Wasn't he in this list?
Yeah. It was Mahomes, Burrow, Allen were 1, 2, 3, then Lamar, which I can't argue with those
Oh
4.
no, that's
Yeah.
that's that's fine. Like
Yeah.
again, it's Mahomes, and then out of those three, you have him whatever way
Right.
you have
Right.
them. I'm not going to
I
argue
mean,
with
I
you
would probably
there.
go Allen ahead of Burrow, but
Yeah,
that's
I would
again, I feel
too,
like
but
that's attack. Yeah.
yeah, but I feel like all three of them need to win something.
Sure.
Um, so there's that. The media run hurts his name into the ground so bad. Packers will win the Super Bowl. Now the Packers will win the Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah, I
So
was
the
gonna say
Redskins are gonna win the division, but
name
the
in there.
Packers. Yeah.
Was Jordan Love's name in there, I assume?
No, actually, I don't think
No?
it was.
Okay. Well, Dak definitely was. Herbert
Yeah, he
definitely
was 10.
was.
Yeah.
Goff definitely was,
I
which is
don't
so
remember. I don't
ridiculous.
think he was. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, but I know that let's see, we already said 1 through 5. I know Dak. Oh,
What is happening? I don't know what's going on. I just got
okay.
kicked out of my own show again.
Yeah.
This happened to me the other day where I just like boop. Anyway, sorry about that, folks.
That was my hostile takeover attempt. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. You've been dethroned. The
Yeah.
Eagles disintegrated at the end of the last season. True. So I'm not going to complain about the Hurts ranking. Hopefully he's healthy and learns the offense quickly. Yeah, I think that has certainly a lot to do with it. Is
Hmm.
I think the last year collapse. He has a lot to prove. He's also now going into his third straight year of having a new, well, 3 straight years, three different
3 years,
coordinators.
3 different coordinators. Yeah, you're right.
So
That's
that's
a
a
big deal.
lot. That's a
Uh-huh.
lot. And again, the 3 years ago that worked, and like obviously we got to Super Bowl, and if it wasn't for just kind of running a little bit out of time there and some BS pass interference,
Yeah, and a
holding.
bad turnover earlier in the game, like whether it be the turnover or the defensive holding, yeah, those things contributed
Sure,
to them. Like,
absolutely,
if
oh,
those things
absolutely.
go the other way, we're the best team in football. Like,
Absolutely. And that I mean, you could say that about a lot of
sure,
championships.
no,
One
and
one
that's
play
and that's
goes
fair.
the another
Mhm,
way, it's a different champ. So I get that. But what I'm saying is we were at the pinnacle almost.
mhm.
And then we go from last year, we started 10-1, things are great, and then boom, we just ran out of train tracks and we just fell off that cliff.
Yeah,
It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. Again, I'm hoping that the coordinators they have now are going to be a difference maker. I do believe that they are better than what we've previously had even 2 years ago.
mhm.
Um, and I'm hopeful for that. And I'm hoping that it's not such a crazy, change. And I hope we get to see, 2022 Jalen Hurts more and doing the things that he did well. But I just feel like I just feel like Hurts' name consistently gets you know, drug through the mud unnecessarily. Um,
Yeah,
and I don't know. I just don't like it. I feel like he absolutely deserves to be there. Um, he has one of the most wins over the last couple of seasons as a quarterback. Um, he certainly has decent stats. Um, I really need to find this list. Top QB.
yeah. Look, I can tell you that I do disagree with some of the names on. Like Aaron Rodgers played 4 snaps last year, and he was on the list at 8. Now, granted, I understand it's a body of work. You're ranking them based on what they are this year, and if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, obviously he's going to be right there in that top 10 quarterback
I'm
mix.
so
I don't
sure. I mean, he
have a
has.
terrible problem with that. I just find it funny that he played 4 snaps and gets ranked higher than Jalen. But
Was it actually 4? I thought it was less.
I thought I thought it was 4 snaps.
I mean, you might be right. So
Yeah,
yeah, with Burrow
it
to
was one drive. Yeah,
Allen, I think I'm on ESPN Plus. So Lamar 4.
yeah,
I'm sure this will cut off. Stafford 5. Jesus.
that's ridiculous.
Herbert 6. I mean, come on. Okay, listen.
Look, and
Um,
nobody's a bigger Herbert like junkie than I am, and I think
I
that's ridiculously
I
high.
I just think Stafford personally um, is very overrated. He is
Yes.
36. He's clearly winding down. He seems to get hurt recently. A decent
Mhm.
amount recently. I think he missed like 9 games a couple years ago, a couple games
Yeah.
last year. And yeah, I mean, listen, he's always had great receivers. I mean, he has Cooper Cup, he has Puka, like he's had, you know, obviously in
Yeah,
Detroit, he's had
Calvin Johnson. Yeah.
Calvin Johnson. Like he's had good receivers consistently. I just personally think he's overrated, and I don't think he deserves to be on this list, much less at 5. Herbert, I mean, what has freaking Herbert done? Um, I don't understand the love. I get it. He's extremely talented. He has a humongous, powerful arm.
Yeah,
Um,
I liked it a lot better when I was one of the few people on the Justin Herbert. Now it's like ESPN wants to get on that and they want to rank him sixth in the top 10. It's like, okay, I like Justin Herbert. Like, I'm a big fan of his, and I think the rest of the NFL kind of undervalues him, except for this list, which way overvalues him.
I just think he's always had decent receivers too. I mean, how when you always have Keenan Allen and
Keenan
Mike
Allen,
Williams,
Mike Williams, right? And this
like,
year we're going to find out what he is because
yeah,
those two guys are gone.
you're bound. All right, Anthony, settle down, buddy. Settle down.
Maybe he's just unhappy because of the heat. Maybe that's why.
Maybe he's not
Maybe that's why
unhappy
Jalen.
because Anthony won't show him a little love. Number 7, CJ Stroud. Okay.
Overreaction to last year.
Listen. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am one of those that I need to see.
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 years of something to say. All right. Well, he's done it 2 years, so at least he can consistently do it, or he's had multiple years doing it.
Yeah, he
I
showed
would
me
rather
body of
I'd
work.
rather have Stafford and Herbert on this list over CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud had a great rookie season. He absolutely did. But guess what happens a lot of the times to great rookie seasons? They fall off.
The sophomore slump.
Sophomore slump happens more to the quarterback than most. We have seen it plenty of times. So
how many times the NFL gets film on the guy, and the quarterback is involved in every play
right
on offense. So the entire league sees every snap that quarterback takes.
Every single snap that the quarterback takes, and especially in the division, those teams are dissecting every second of film that they have.
Absolutely
on him,
as they should.
Yeah. Little G, what up? I'm a big Eagles fan. 2024, 14-3. Go. So Little G, I have a question. I feel like you're going to be an uncle. I feel like that's been going on for a while. When is your?
I was going to say, when's the due date?
Presumably sister or brother, I guess. So when is your sister or sister-in-law due? I'd love to know when the due date is because I'd love to celebrate with you, buddy, on here.
Yeah,
Little G gonna be an uncle. I'll put it up on the banner. I'll do the whole thing.
Hell yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. We'll do
hell yeah. Little G is Little G rock.
It's awesome
with the EOP for sure. So yeah, listen, I get it. CJ Stroud might be one of the best quarterbacks in this list eventually. I just need to see it another year.
Yeah, 2025 list. That might be a deserving spot for him.
Absolutely.
I do think it's an overreaction for the 2020.
100%. Aaron Rodgers. All right, listen, I get it. I'm not going to argue that. He deserves to be somewhere on this list.
Because of the lifetime achievement.
Yeah, exactly. Lifetime achievement award here. He's still amazing. He's still one of the best quarterbacks I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Bar none. And you know what? He's better than that bum Favre. I'll tell you that. Freaking bum.
And he's better at doing his taxes than Brett Favre.
Well, that's for sure. And he certainly probably sends less dick pics than Brett Favre. Probably doesn't. What did he do? He faked a charity, or he stole from a charity, or I don't know. He did I don't know. Either way, he's a piece of shit, and I hate Brett Favre. Anyway,
I will say you were calling that way before anybody else was.
You are 100% right. We should go back to the tapes of me just blasting Favre.
Oh, you definitely, you were all about the Favre hate. Yeah,
I was on the Favre hate train for a while.
That train.
Yeah, Rob comes in, judged on his play last season. Andrew, please, Nick, can you not ruin football season again for me? Andrew, not too heavy with Nick.
Yeah, I see no lies there.
Yeah, listen, you're not wrong. All right, so next on the list, number 9, Jared Goff. Like, come the F on. Like, okay, listen, I get it. He got a big boy contract, 4 years, $212 million. Ridiculous. But I don't get it. He's had a decent run in Detroit. It seems like Detroit seems to be his natural fit. And listen, he took LA. That's also he took the Rams to the Super Bowl, which to me personally drops Stafford even further for me because listen, bro, you didn't do anything that special. Jared Goff got you,
Absolutely, yeah.
into the
And
Super
look,
Bowl.
if they hadn't been playing against a Patriots team that was stout that year, you know, they
Maybe,
probably win a Super Bowl. Of
maybe.
course, granted, they got a little help getting to that Super Bowl. The pass interference call that was not called against the Saints.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Oh yeah. That was
Yeah.
wild. Um, and listen, he's had a really good 2-year run with
Mhm.
Detroit. Amon Ra and
I'll
it
say
looks
I think that's more deserving than C.J. Stroud at 7.
yeah,
I'm more
yeah, you're
willing to
right.
entertain that. Yeah,
You're right. I think Stroud certainly had a higher season, but
sure.
Goff has certainly had a good 2-year run here.
Hmm.
And listen, they built the team the right way. They built the offensive line. They have,
Hmm.
again, I think given the fact that Kelsey is no longer an Eagle, I think they are now the best offensive line in football.
Yeah,
You
probably. I
com-
think that's
you,
fair.
you combine that with a great young talented running backs, in Gibbs, and they also have
Hmm.
Montgomery. You have a great young talent, a tight end, and Laporta, who absolutely blew up last year.
Yeah.
You have Amon Ra, who certainly is cementing himself as a potential top 10. Um, either you agree that he is or he's right outside. And they have a couple other
I
talented
think he's
young.
definitely a top 10 receiver. Yeah.
Wow. So, again, um, they built that offense fantastically. So it is set for Goff to basically not F it up, in my
Yeah.
opinion. That being said, obviously you've still got to make the plays, and I do believe he has a spot on our list. I just don't know if I would put him in a top 10 of quarterbacks right now.
Right. So we argued two guys that don't belong in that top 10. Who would you like? Do you think it's definitely Jalen's right after that? Do you think he should be in that top 10?
Yeah, I
And
think
aside
I
from
think
him,
Jalen
is it
needs
like
to.
Jordan Love,
I
Brock
would.
Purdy?
Yeah, listen, I would sneak. I would sneak Jalen in there,
Mhm.
because regardless of what you think about the collapse last year, before the collapse, he was an MVP candidate,
Yeah. And he
and he
was an
was
MVP candidate the year
MVP
prior.
candidate the year
Yeah.
before.
Hmm.
So, he also has more wins than all of these other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Um, he again didn't have a great year turnover wise, but generally speaking, if you look at the last couple of years, he limits his turnovers. He wills this team to win sometimes. And
Hmm.
again, I understand that they had a lot of issues last year defensively, coordinator wise, play calling wise, and it seemed like Jalen regressed slightly. But I think a lot of that is on Nick. I think a lot of that is on the coordinator, Brian Johnson.
I agree. A lot of that, like, because a lot of this stuff is done like pre-snap. Like, if the biggest issue we had with Jalen was his ability to identify a blitz, well, a real easy way to figure out how to identify a blitz, send a guy in motion. The
Yeah.
Eagles like refuse
They
to
sh-
send anybody in
yeah.
motion.
And I don't know who that is on. I
To
don't
me,
know
it's
who
got to
that
be
is.
on the coordinator.
You would think the person calling the play would put in
Right.
a motion option, but you would think motion option would be on every play, right? You'd think.
Right. I mean, to
Uh,
me, I don't understand why you don't run a single play. Why you run a single play that doesn't have motion.
yeah. Judy says he still is. So yeah, I would probably sneak him around 8, 9. Again, I,
Yeah,
I,
I
I
agree.
think I think Andrew said it perfectly here, where he has a lot to prove this year. He's
Sure.
got to prove, and the Eagles themselves have to prove that last year, the end of last year was just a blip,
Hmm.
and it was a freak thing, and we're moving past it, and we gotta get back on the train and get back to our winning ways, because again, you look at the last 2 years. What was our when did we lose our first game? 2 years ago. It was against Washington, but what
Right. It was like week
remember?
10. It was like
Yeah,
week
it was
or week
something like that.
11. We were like 9, 10, and 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either way, we were definitely 10-1 the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. To say that you were 10-1 2 straight years,
Right.
that's pretty impressive, and I think that has a lot to do with Jalen Hurts, and the fact that Jalen Hurts was able to overcome and still win. especially some of those games where it seemed like play calling they just wanted to give it away.
Yeah,
So, but again, he's not without blame. He absolutely has a lot of blame. He
sure.
definitely seemed to regress. He definitely seemed to not be able to read the defense. He seemed to make quick decisions, but not in a good way.
Yeah, always the wrong ones.
Yeah. He seemed to miss, really good reads and
Mhm.
routes by AJ and Devontae. There were way too many times where you were like, dude, he was wide open. Like, what are you looking at? Inaccuracy issues. So yeah, it's definitely a lot on Jalen, and um, he needs to buck up and
Yeah.
yeah, he needs to prove a lot, as Andrew says here. Um, we also have a soft schedule, so let's keep things 100 here. Yeah, listen, it was pretty easy in the beginning,
Um,
um,
and then
for
we had a
sure,
murderer's
and we had a
row in
murderer's row, yeah,
October and November.
yeah, and listen, we have a couple of games in a row this year that'll be kind of
Sure.
rough.
Sure.
Not certainly not the gauntlet as we had last
No,
year,
last
but
year was a gauntlet. Yeah.
yeah. So, but still, I would still put Jalen probably around anywhere from 7, 8, 9, 10. Somewhere
Yeah.
in that range where I think you'd be all right to do that. Now, let me see who is number 9 or number 10 here. Yeah, it's Dak. I figured it would be. And I'm perfectly fine with having Dak. I think Dak,
No, Dak belongs on that list and even
yeah,
ahead of
he
Jalen.
is he
Yeah.
is consistently always very good,
Mhm.
always very productive, and he gets wins. I mean, they've
Yes.
won what, 12. I think they've won 12 the last couple of years.
Yeah. 2 out of
So
the last 3 NFC East championships.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he absolutely. It just seems like clutch situations and playoff time. He's not. I don't even want to. I wouldn't even say he like chokes. I just think he's just not as sharp, I guess. And
Yeah.
those
I
that
would
not
agree with
sharp,
that.
I think like that not as sharpness, if that's even a phrase,
We can
is
make
what
it work.
kind of gets that team into trouble. And then they spiral a little bit. And then the defense does something stupid and blah 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 blah.
Well, and we talk about all the time how like the quarterback's the most important position in football, and the Cowboys definitely are a team that feed off of what he does.
Yeah,
And when he does falter in the slightest in the playoffs, because like you said, I don't even necessarily think last year was necessarily him choking. I think that defense couldn't get off the field, and then he started pressing. And
well, yeah, yeah. Andrew, can Bohm sneak a win tonight in the home run derby? No.
I'd like him to, but
Oh,
yeah,
well, of course, we're all rooting for him. But I don't see a shot in hell.
no,
That is not. If you're looking
it's
at
not a
all
chance.
stars and players on our team of who would be in a home run derby, obviously, I think we'd all love to see Bryce. But
Yeah, I'm surprised he
um,
hasn't tried to get
well,
into that.
that's the thing. He hasn't been. He wasn't in a Phillies unit. No, he wasn't. He
He
was
hasn't
with.
been an all. This is his first year as an all-star in a Phillies uniform, and he's won an MVP.
Yeah, well, that is silly.
Yeah,
That's because yeah, his slow start and
yeah,
injuries. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to see Schwarbaum,
yeah. It's a
get
good
a
call.
crack. That would be nice. I mean, hell, I mean, you could have Bohm certainly does nice, but he's. I think I'd have him
I
my
was wondering
fourth.
Trey Turner would be a good choice.
Right, Trey. I mean,
He's been crushing it.
especially the heater he's been on.
Yeah,
Oh, give him the heater.
yeah. No, Trey Turner. Like, and I was watching a show earlier. They were arguing that Trey Turner is the best player on the Phillies right now, and I have a hard time arguing it.
Oh no, the last 2 weeks he absolutely has.
Oh
Or
yeah,
last
oh
month.
yeah, definitely. If you say the last 2 weeks, but I'm saying the first half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still probably give it to Harps, but
Yeah, it probably still is Harper,
just
but I'm just
because
saying it's because
Turner
it's.
had such a slow start that I feel like this heater he's been on is kind of evening him out.
But it's like one of those things where even the obvious answer is Bryce Harper, and it's so obvious that you try to come up with a
Try to
different
come up with
answer.
another. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's okay. Sorry, boys. Had to sneak into baseball.
Oh
Hey, all
no,
good, all good.
I love talking
We love
baseball.
talking baseball for sure. Obviously, we are the football smack talk show, but hey, listen, sometimes it can be a little baseball smack talk.
Yeah,
But luckily, if you're into baseball, Andrew, we have so many damn shows on the Edge of Philly Sports Network that you can get
I'll
your
definitely get my
baseball
baseball
fix.
fix. Hmm.
You can get your baseball fix. You can get your hockey fix. You can get your lacrosse fix. You can get your basketball fix. I mean, they literally there are certain sickos here, as we like to call them, who are so into the Sixers that they do Sixers summer league post games.
That is insane.
That's a little nuts. But if you're that level of nuts, we got something for you.
But think about it. If the
yeah.
Eagles did a summer league football, we'd be all about
Well,
that.
of course we would.
We'd be dissecting every
I
second
mean,
of it.
listen, if we could go to the training camps like we used to,
Oh, I'd just take off the entire month of
you don't,
August and
yeah,
go
you
every
don't,
day.
you
Yeah.
don't think we would be doing, live from the training camp?
Oh, that'd have been awesome.
What we love to hear there, Andrew.
Hell yeah.
Baby. Yeah, and I know you've popped up in other shows as well, buddy. Yeah, but that's what we call where it looks like we're talking to one, but we're really talking to everybody else.
Yeah.
Speaking of baseball, if you're interested in going to away games for baseball, or again, maybe we'll stick to football as we do here. If you are a fanatic like us and you love going to see the Eagles, but you don't know, what to do, how to go about it. Philly Sports Strips has every single thing that you need down to the T. So check out Philly Sports Strips.
If you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. If you want to travel with the pros, then go to phillysportstrips.com. Philly Sports Trips features premium travel and tailgating experiences for the best fans ever the Philadelphia sports fan. Philly Sports Trips has self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights for Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and even the Union. They even offer day trips for more local games. Go to phillysportstrips.com, sign up immediately, and tell them EOP sent you. Do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2024 season, including the Brazil trip week 1. Jump on it now before you lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com and don't miss the next great Philly sports moment.
There you go. So if you are out there, please look up Philly Sports Trips and let them know that EOP sent you when you're booking. We are planning on going to the Baltimore game. I believe we just need to get our final numbers together so we can book. But that's going to be a fun trip for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be in December. It's going to be a late game for us to go to.
It is. It absolutely is. But anyway, so we figured obviously we'd talk about this list here, but because there's not a lot going on, we still have what's today's date? We still got like a week, a little.
You can change your training camp.
Tomorrow will be a week.
Yeah,
tomorrow will be a week. So we certainly
next week we'll be previewing the start of training camp.
Yeah, we absolutely will. We'll be doing a little preview. I'll also be talking about college football. 25 EA Sports just released. The early release day was today at 4:00. So I haven't really been able to play much of it, but be able to kind of get things started. So yeah, I'll be able to play a little bit more of that. So by Monday, I'll have some things to talk about. I am so excited for this game. This is I don't really do video games all that much anymore,
right?
But I still do the Madden every year. I mean, I like the fact that I have literally had every single Madden since they came out back in 1989. And
Yeah, I think with the exception of just a couple of years, I have just about everyone too.
Yeah, so I'll get that and I'll play that a little bit, and occasionally I'll get like a Call of Duty game because I like playing with some friends, but I'm really really shitty at it. But yeah, college football was a game that I played. Was the game you would get it, you'd be like, all right, great, cool. Like I have like a month and a half playing this game until Madden comes
a couple
out.
seasons out.
Yeah, exactly, and then Madden comes out.
Put together some draft classes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Kind of got you to it, but
Yeah.
obviously Madden's fallen off considerably.
Well, yeah.
And from everything that I've seen so far, college football, my God, Madden needs to take a million pages off of this, and redo things. So hopefully they do. But anyway, so I'm excited about playing that. So I'm actually
you'll have to give us a
review?
a synopsis. So review of the game.
And I know EO. I know a couple people from EOP are planning, including myself, planning on live streaming some games when we get a chance. So we'll be doing that. I can't wait to get that set up and get embarrassed, probably because I'm probably really crappy at these games now.
But I feel like, and I know we talked about it a little bit off air, I feel like your audience for this particular game, especially early on, is going to be a lot of guys like us who grew up playing this game. We were 17, 18, and now they're going to be in their 20s, late 20s, 30s, and even 40s playing this game for the first time in 11 years?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited, for sure, to say the least. So, I got birds.
Always a good time to say go birds.
So I think that's going to be it for us. We'll, like I said, talk a little bit more about training camp next week, as Tuesday is the start of training camp. And then we'll talk a little bit more about college football as I'll go be playing that all week. I'm really hoping my work week is nice and easy, so
you can sneak out and play some.
Yeah, exactly. I worked specifically from home today so that I could be here for the 4:00 release.
That's great
of the game, and I was able to kind of get a few things in before our game, our show here. So, but yeah, that's going to be it for us. Thank you everybody for chiming in. I will say, and I don't have it ready just yet, but and I'm not going to do it on air, mostly because I don't know, just mostly because. But we do have a brand new sponsor, and that is Wild Man Drinking. If you don't know
what Wild Man Drinking,
if you don't know what Wild Man Drinking is, they make the Kraken, which if you do not know what the Kraken is, maybe you're not a big beer drinker, and that's okay. But if you ever been to a tailgate or you're hanging out with some friends or whatever, and somebody breaks out the old let's shotgun
a beer,
yeah. Well, listen, this little device here makes shotgunning beers so much easier, and they are so much fun. I can't tell you how many people have come up to me and asked me where I've gotten them. And it's funny because I literally found out about them, ordered them, bought them, and used them, and then a Wild Man eventually reached out to me and asked to work with us. So literally you just put this thing at the end of a beer. It goes right in this little tip part, and then you have this little funnel here. It just absolutely, it makes it less mess. You're not spraying everywhere. You're not getting half the drink on your clothes, and then it's fun. It's easy to chug, and I'm telling you, it's a hit of any party that you're at. People absolutely love it, and they have a couple other things too. They have beer stick, which is what I like to call a beer funnel. It's essentially this like tube that you fill the beer up. You push the one end.
And you turn the one end and.
Well, no, you don't turn anything. You just
okay.
You push it so that you get all the air out because you don't want to get any air in you, and then you literally put it up to your mouth and you push the other end in, and it's like a syringe that just shoots it down your throat. You can literally kill a beer in like 0.3 seconds. It's insanity, but you got to make sure you get rid of the air, because then you're just going to be consuming air along with the beer, and then you're just going to be burping a lot. It's weird. Maybe I'll do one on live on air one day, but yeah, they have a couple other great products, so check them out. Wild Man Drinking. Head on over there and use code PSA. And you can get a nice little discount, and they know that we're the ones who sent you. So there is a link in the description, so check that out. Click that; it goes right on over to them. Use the code, bing bang boom, and I think it's 10%. So get a nice little discount, and yeah, telling you, have some fun, and it's great for tailgate season. Let me tell you. But yeah, anyway, that's it for us. Eric, you got anything to add before we pop on out of here?
No.
All right. Got to keep that streak alive. Well, thank you, everybody, for commenting. Appreciate all the love from YouTube and X and, of course, Facebook. We appreciate all the wonderful Facebook groups that we stream into. They are certainly the lifeblood of what we do. So we appreciate that. And if you like us, please make sure that you give Edge of Philly Sports a nice like and a follow on whatever social you're on. And, of course, share it out, because letting your friends know is kind of the best thing for us, not only for this show, but all the other shows. We have probably over almost 40 shows a week. Given we have a consistent morning show trending in the AM Monday through Friday. We have post game for every major sporting event, including Summer League, apparently. And we have shows throughout that, they have a lacrosse show. There's a union show, a couple of wrestling shows. So definitely check out Edge of Philly Sports. And obviously, I will be on later tonight, I think 8 o'clock for Party on Broad. I'll be on tomorrow for Birds of the Round Table, and then exclusively on Philly Sports Alliance. Eric, your wrestling show, Turning Heel, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So that's it for us. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be discussing a little training camp preview. So stay awesome. And if you're in this area or any area, honestly, stay cool. It is gonna get hot this week. So yeah. So be safe out there. We will see you guys next week. So for the Football Smack Talk show, I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Only 52 days to go.
52, we can do that. No problem. So, all right, folks, have yourself a great evening. Stay cool and go Birds.
Go Birds.